Welcome everyone. Today we're gonna talk about how to build a successful mobile and a website app. I'm Rajan Khokar. It's great to have you with us. We have lots of things to cover today, so let's get started. Who this is for? Early stage entrepreneurs, those who are planning to starting their entrepreneurship in their life. Startup, those who already into the business and planning to have a mobile app or a website, already doing a full-time job, those having a full-time job and they part-time they are working on their startup and struggling how they can make an app or a website for their startup. Established business owner, those who already having a successful business and they wants to make an app or a website for their business and they wants to automate their business processes. Anyone who wants to build a mobile or a website, either you are a student, either you are a doctor or a teacher, if you have a really good idea, this is for you guys. Who we are a team of 70 plus experts. FutureWorks Technologies has been founded in 2011 and we have industry experts with 7 years plus years of experience. So far we have delivered 249 projects and we have a list of 100 plus clients over the globe. This is me, Rajan Khokar. I am CEO at FutureWorks Technologies. I am the founder of Angel Worms, Genius, Pick Meals, and Super Tiffin. So I already did a startups like you guys. We are not just a service providing company. We actually know how much it takes to build a company. We know how much your money is valuable. I've already gone through with the process of building mobile apps, website development for all of my these previous startups. Even I work on a ground level, on an operation way, on a development way. I have done everything in the startup. Even I have done a food delivery for this startup. I have raised funds from the investors, so I actually know how the whole startup industry works and how to raise a fund from the investors. The reason why I'm telling you all this, just to show you, I have over 10 years of experience building apps and website. So if I'm gonna tell you something, it actually means it's gonna work for your company as well. But unfortunately, it wasn't always this way for me. When I grew up, I didn't have much knowledge about building products or a company. I was doing a full-time 9 to 6 coding job with the big dreams in my eyes. I was struggling building my apps and website. And even I hired an agency to help me out building my products. But the funny thing is, I ended up with the failed product. Then I started learning myself how to create Android, iOS and website development. And I got so much good at it, I started helping other companies as well for building their apps and website. And we have testimonials and ratings from these companies. Look at this Farm Hill. They have raised 50 million funding for their startup. And see what they talk about us. At first, I was hoping outsourcing would save a labor expense, and now I see that their work is not only more affordable, but often better than that of our US counterparts. Most of the people scared outsourcing their projects to other companies or in India. But the truth is, if you find the right team, right people for your product building, your startup journey will be amazed. You will also become successful like these guys. Most of the people wants to hire a local developer or local designer. They wants to work with the local agencies. But keep in mind that if you are not technical sound, if you don't have a technical knowledge, it's so hard to interview a local developer or a designer. So in that case, you have to rely on an agency which already have a qualified or a good testimonial from a good companies. Let's talk about this round menu. They are doing extremely good in Dubai city and they are also expanding in Middle East. See what they talk about us. FutureWorks help us build a software that enable restaurants in Middle East to engage their customer better using digital technologies. and you need to check the profile of a company before hiring a company, or before hiring any agency. You just screen their profile, how good they are. I have seen so many issues with the Middle East country startups, that they don't have a good skill in Middle East, they don't have a good agencies. If they hired somebody, they are not capable of building that top quality of products. So the people, those who are in Middle East, they should always screen the company or a developer before hiring. Either they are outsourcing in India, they should verify either they are a genuine people or not. So would you like to learn what I learned? There are 7 vital transformations that need to happen if you want to build a successful app. Before jumping into a product development or taking a very big step in your startup, you should have a basic knowledge how to make an app or a website for your startup. So the first thing is an idea. What idea you have? What problem you are solving? Are you solving a real problem, or you just want to do a startup or a business just because your friends or somebody else is doing the business? Ask yourself, are you actually solving a problem or not? Most of the people thinks Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is not actually solving a problem, but the truth is they are actually solving a very big problem. Facebook allow a user to share their thoughts, their life activities with their friends and families. YouTube allows a user to carry a television in their pocket. You cannot carry television while traveling in a car or you are in a metro, but with the help of YouTube you can carry. You can get entertainment anytime. That's why all these platforms are getting so viral these days, because they are actually solving a real user problem. So once you find a real problem in the society or in the world, then you should find a solution. What is the right solution you are having for that particular problem? Let's take example of Uber. If you want to book an cab, you should have a exact location of yourself. If you are trying to book a cab from a website, because the website cannot get your geolocation, exact geolocation, right? So if you building a solution over the mobile app, the mobile app can get your exact geolocation, and you can easily book, and you can provide your exact location to the driver where you are actually standing on the street. So if you're building a solution for a problem, you should have a right technology for that. So mobile apps is the right technology for the Uber, not the website. But for some of the business model, mobile apps and the website works perfectly, like e-commerce. So choose so wisely what solution you have for your problem. Once you have the right solution, validate your idea. Do lots of research, find the data, and see what other people are doing. See what are the other players and what they are doing. Either they are doing the exact same thing or they are doing a similar kind of stuff. Let's take example of a Uber. If you really want to do a Uber like a taxi hailing app for your city, you should see how many other competitors are there. Either it's just a Uber or there are some other competitors are there. Where is the gap? You should not compete exactly with the same Uber business model, because if the Uber is already exist in your city and there are so many other competitors are there, you should find a gap. What exactly Uber is not doing right now. Let's take example of Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is also a social media platform and Instagram is also a social media platform. So if we talk about Facebook, it connects with your friends and families. It allows you to post your photographs and also share your thoughts with your friends and families. but Instagram is just only for the photographs. It allows you to use different filters for your photographs, and you can share it with your friends and families. So Instagram is filling up a gap which Facebook is not. So you need to understand why Instagram is working, because they are providing so much different filters, and they just only allow a user to just post videos and photographs, and they are just sharing with their friends, right? And Facebook is also doing the same thing, but they are making a very niche uh, concept for photographs industry for Instagram. So you need to understand why they're getting successful. So if you are doing a Uber like app, try to understand where is a gap, what Uber is not doing. If you start with that small gap, you can make a difference, and the probability of getting successful in your startup is will be more higher. And once you have the whole analytic reports and you have the complete research, then you can decide either you want to go with your idea, yes or no. The another thing is, if you don't have to find a gap if the Uber is not exist in your city. So if you know any successful business idea which already going viral in United States or some other in some other country, you really like that idea, and you know that business model doesn't exist in your city or in your country, and you can see there is lots of good potential in your city, and you can also do the same exact clone startup in your city, because the problem they are solving in that XYZ city is not exist in your city. So you can just take their business model, build a product over it, and just launch in your city. That's the way to go. So in that case, you don't have to find a gap. So this is a whole strategy. You have to be work wisely, and you should know what you are doing.
Let's talk about MVP and a fully featured product. MVP is a minimal viable product where you can test your exact feature, either you're solving a customer problem or not. For example, uh, but people wants to eat something whenever they feel hungry, and it should be handy and it should be easily available and easy to cook. So you can just have a small piece of bun or have a patty and a cheese. You can try and tell people, is it tasty, and this is would they like to eat whenever they feel hungry, and it's very easy to cook. But when you test it, if the people respond yes, it is nice, and they feel it okay, they can have it whenever they feel hungry, you can actually build a fully featured product with extra cheese over it, with extra patty, with chopped onion, right? And put more extra things to make it even more better and tasty. So your finally your fully featured product might be look like the burger on the right side, but you should start from initially the burger on the left side. Let's take an example of real time product. Facebook was initially started with the profiles. You can just add different your friends, you can just have your profile, you can upload your photographs, and you can write about yourself. That's all, and people can like it, or that's all. This is the basic Facebook they have started, and slowly they have started integrating other features like comment, share. Even after 3 or 4 years, they have integrated um, chat system, video calling, and now there a lot of things are there on Facebook. So this is the difference between MVP and a fully featured product. So you should keep in mind, MVP is always take less time to develop. It's also very cost effective as compared to the fully featured product. So if you have a very innovative idea, you want to build something, try building with the MVP and then build over it a fully featured product. Most of the people confuse here, they always want to start with the MVP, but this is not the right way in all the cases. So for example, if you are doing just a clone of a Uber or a Facebook or any other successful business model. You don't have to just do a MVP for like a Uber business model. You just build a complete featured product and launch it, because there is no way of testing that business model in your city, because it's already successful in different cities. You just have to copy and paste in your city and it's gonna work, because Uber has been already done different testing in their city, and you can just learn from it and save your time and bang on.
Let's discuss MVP more in detail. Advantages of an MVP development for investors and startups. Suppose you have a idea and you really want to build a apps or a website over it. Just create a small prototype of it. You should have a UI UX ready for your concept or app or a website, and then you can actually invest a low amount of time and money for developing features of your exact business model. You should not have an add-ons feature in your MVP. You just test with the basic functionality of your solution, and then test it with the users, show it to your investors. If your investors like it and they see yes, your MVP have a really good response from the people, and you can also use your MVP to raise more funds from the investors. So MVP is mostly used for raising funds from the investors and test your idea. So here is the MVP. I just wanted to explain you more in detail in MVP. What is a minimal viable product? Most of the people thinks if they just have a UI UX, right, it is an MVP. No, it is not the MVP. The right way of doing the MVP is your MVP has to be functional. It's not like you just have a designs and you think like this is my MVP and I can raise funds over it. No, that's not a right way. Your MVP should work in the market. It should be able to interact with your customers. If you just have a designs with you, how are you gonna test with your customers? Because people don't care about what kind of designs you have. They actually want a product to be tested. It should be functioning. So there are so many agencies, there are so many people out there in the market. They might be give you the wrong direction that okay, if you just have a UI UX you can raise funds from the investors. No, nobody's gonna give you money just after seeing the designs, and anybody can create the designs. So just creating a design is not a MVP. Create a design, have a basic functionality. It should be functional, it should be programmable, and you can test it. Otherwise it is not gonna work for you. So try to understand what is MVP. So here I'm just trying to explain you in more detail how not to build a minimal viable product. You just not have just a tire and you're just trying to test it with your customers that okay, this might be become a car in the future, because people don't care what you want to try. They want exactly working vehicle. It should work, it should run on the roads. So either you are, there are the three things I have explained, but like what are the types of minimal viable products, how not to build a minimal viable product. So it should be run. So if you see the last example, see this is just a car, but it's not a fully completed car, but yes, you can drive it. It have the wheels, you can sit over it and you can drag, and it is able to run on the road. If you just have just a tire and nobody is able to sit over it, that is not called a MVP. So so many people in the market get confused. They think this is my MVP, but that is not just having a tires with you is not a MVP. It should be functionable. Once your idea is finalized, you want to build a MVP or a fully featured product. The second stage comes: create a user interface. Building your ideas blueprint. This is a very initial and crucial step while building any apps or a website. There are three components to a planning stage: specification documents. You should write down each and every feature of your app or a website. What are the specification, what are the features you need in your app? Either you should do it, or if you hire a developer or any agency, they will do it. If they are not doing it, that's not a way to go. Documentation of how an app feature works. Identify and memorize business requirements and intelligence. You should have a complete document of each and every feature and how the things will be work. If you just proceed without this whole specific document, your developer or your agency might be ended up building a completely a different product that what you were visualized. And most of the people have wasted their lots of time because they want something else and the developer have built something else, because they both are not on the same page, just because of they don't have the specific documentation. Just to enhance their specific documentation, you should have a use cases, usage goals clearly defined, plain spoken written description, sentence or a paragraph. Let me just give you a small example how what I mean about use cases. For example, you just need a login or registration. You might be have just written down in the specific document you need a login and registration, that's all. But no, you should have a use case of it, how a user will log in. Either he wants to log in via Facebook or Google or Twitter. You should also define that, because having a complete registration form, how many fields will be there? You are asking their age, you are asking their country, you are asking their gender. So the things has to be defined in these use cases, because if you just mention you just need a login or sign up, your developer has just created a user and registration form. You just ask name and email ID and phone number, but might be you have requested him, hey, I need a Twitter login, I need a Facebook login, I need a Google a Gmail login. He might refuse to do that because that is an extra time consuming thing, and there's so many confusions raised at that moment of time. So be specific, be clear at the time of planning. Universal markup language diagrams, you should have the each and every diagram ready, how the app will look like, how the database structure will look like, how the admin will look like, how the functionality will look like. So if you have that much details documentation for your app or a website, there's so much chances your app developer or your agency will develop the same exact product that what you want. Just only these parts actually remove the confusions, that's all. And you should have a wireframes, detailed feature identify in the specific document, visualization of use case workflows, foundation of UI UX, and for the designs, low fidelity or a high fidelity wireframes. You should have the each and every wireframes, how the each and every page will look like, either it's a website or a app. It should have the complete wireframes. From it doesn't matter how many pages you have in your app or a website, you might be have 100 of pages, you should have a wireframes your developer, and you should have a clear idea how each and every page will look like. And this is how you can actually make a very user experience interface for your customers. The reason why I'm telling you all these steps is just to secure you. If you follow all these steps, that what I'm telling you is probably your chances to get successful will be higher, because I have seen so many people in the market did not even launch their product because the people they have hired, they haven't complete their product, or they have built something else what they were requested. They have wasted their time, their money. So if you follow these steps, your developer or your agency will develop what exactly you wanted. And trust me, this is not at all time consuming or any big investment is involved in this. This is just a planning. You can do it by yourself. You can have a low fidelity wireframes. You can hire any designer, or you can just create it by yourself. You can have a specific documentation by yourself as well. So this is not at all that much time consuming, that much big investment is involved, but this is just a creating a whole architecture plan of your startup, how the things will look like. If you have this, hire any developer in the world. If you have a good coding skill, they can build over it. They don't have to use much of their mind, because you have given them the whole complete roadmap, what exactly things need to be done. So this is the low fidelity wireframes will look like. This is just a done on a wireframes. So this is just a small example of a low fidelity wireframes. This is how you can see that, okay, this is the page will look like, or main page, there's a social page look like, and what other features will be. And this is the exact UI UX. This is a finished UI UX of design. Once we create that low fidelity wireframes and then high fidelity wireframes, so you can plan how the structures will be there, and how the complete designing pages will look like. Let me just explain you more in detail how the complete UI UX process is gonna work. Here I'm gonna explain you complete designing process of an app. Create all the sketches of your app screens, and then have the wireframes ready. See each and every wireframe in your phone, either it's getting fit in each and every screen or not, and see how the function is look like. Most of the bad UI designers, they use really bad font, and they have a very small images or very big images, so which distract the user. You should see your app features will be fit in the phone. And I repeat, make all the screens wireframes, and then see how each and every page will look like. Once your wireframes are ready, then comes to the Photoshop and have all the graphical interface ready with you. Create each and every graphic wireframes, convert your wireframes into the graphical interface, and see how does it look like. Have all the screens ready. Dashboard screen, this is the category screen, and test how in a graphic way how your page will look like, how the setting page will look like, and then have it user friendly. You should know, is it very easy to use or it's so hard to use. Your user should not struggling while using your app. So while designing UI UX, you should make sure your designs are so user friendly, and then transform those design into iPad, tablet, iPhone and Android. Android have a so different screen sizes, so test in each and every device. Even implement the designs into the phone in different iPhone screen size like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Test them in every iPhone screen, and then see how the page are, how your designs are look in your actually in the phone. This is the way of testing your UI UX, and you will get to know how the user will interact with your designs. You might be have a really good idea, your business model is so good, but if you don't have really a good user interface, your startup will not gonna work, because people don't care how good your business model, how good you are solving their problem. If it is so hard to use, nobody cares. So you have to let the people use your app with the user interface. It should be user friendly. So when you're designing or you're planning your app development, you should focus more on your UI and UX, and ask your designer, they should develop so user friendly, and test again and again. Test your designs in phone, either it's a user friendly or not. Your user should not struggle at all while using your designs. So make sure they complete the whole process within 3 to 4 clicks. They just click, 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 and that's all. If it is an e-commerce, in 3 to 4 steps, in a 3 to 4 clicks, the order has to be placed. So keep in mind your design process should be work like that, so that users should feel so easy to use. Most of the designers, what they do in the market, they create really beautiful designs, but they are so hard to use. People don't care how good your designs are, they just want user friendly. If it is easy to use, they will use it. If it is not, then no. Look at the WhatsApp user interface, or look at the Facebook user interface. They are not so good design, they are not graphically so good at, they are so simple and so easy to use. So keep in mind. And if you are coming from a country where people just have started using smartphone, or they just started using internet, so keep in mind the user interface plays a very big role in those areas. If your user is 50-year old or 60-year old, he just have started using internet, and he just bought a new smartphone, your app should be functionable to him. He should not feel so hard to use your app. So if he is not a tech savvy, your designs should let him use your app. You might be have a very good idea. If that guy is not able to use your app, there is no point of developing app. So keep in mind, while designing any app or a website, keep in mind that any age group of people can use your designs or app. They might be have just started using your smartphone or internet, so your designs has to be so user friendly. And again, test again and again each and every screen in phone, that is it user friendly or not. If it is so hard to use, don't build it. So once your designs are ready, you get so much clarity about your project, how the user will interact with your app or a website. You get so much clarity how each and every function will look like, because you have developed designs for each and every screen, and you know how the things will need to be done. If you want some changes in your model, you can change it at the second stage or a first stage. So first and the second stages are so crucial in app development and a website development, and this is where you can do lots of changes in your business model, and you can even pivot your idea if you want. But these first and second steps are so much important in app development. There are very less chances your developer will screw up in your project. So if you cross first and second steps in a right way, your rest of the development cycle will be so easy. So the third point is production. Let's talk about it. Understanding mobile apps, native app development, hybrid app development, cross-platform app development, which is outdated. So let me explain you what is native, hybrid, and cross-platform. So before moving ahead, let me explain you hybrid and cross-platform first. Most of the people get confused. They think like hybrid app development is the same as cross-platform. No, cross-platform is completely a different thing. Hybrid app development is completely different thing. So they both are not the same thing. So cross-platform was used when the initially in 2012 and 13 the app development people have started developing apps. In 2011 they have started using Codua or PhoneGap it's just a simple HTML, and they create with the HTML they just create apps over Android and iOS app. But now the hybrid app development is going on. There are so many new frameworks are in the market, like native, Xmarine, or Titanium. There n number of platforms or frameworks are there which is having a native controllers, where you can have a really good UI UX designs. You can also do the animations, so their performance is way better than cross platform. So uh, try to understand, if somebody is saying it's a hybrid, it's not cross platform. Cross platform, now these days nobody is using cross platform, because now technology is also improving a lot day by day. So most of the people, those who are working on cross platform or hybrid, they are using any framework. So you should decide which framework you want to use for the hybrid app development, because it's a mixture of native controllers plus the cross platform. So the performance is very good. You will get really good designs for your app, and the performance is way better than any other cross platform. So let's talk about native app. Native apps are completely developed in a different language. If you talk about Android apps develop in Java and in Android Studio. And if you talk about iOS app, these apps developed in Objective C and Swift. So they both are developing in different, completely different languages. So if you're developing native apps, you have to hire a completely a different iOS app developer for iOS app, and a different developer for Android apps. So the two different developers should be work on your app. The designer will be remain the same, and in a hybrid only a one developer can work on the hybrid platform, and he can export the apps in Android or iOS. So that's why native apps are expensive and hybrid apps are little bit reasonable, because only one guy or like less resources are involved in hybrid app development, and in native app development more resources are involved. So let's talk more in detail about native mobile apps, when to do native apps and when not to do native apps. So if you're really looking for a very high performing app, you don't want to compromise with the performance of your app, then go for a native platform. If you're really, your app is dependent on heavy on iOS and device features, so if you are collecting so much data in your mobile phone, for example Android or iOS, you are collecting so many pictures, or you want to store all those data in your phone, then you just only go for the native app. If you just want to preferable programming language for a specific platform, use all the supported features. For example, you want to use the native features of any app. For example, iPhone have a scanning, a finger scanning feature, or a face ID, right? So if you want to use some this kind of a native features, then native is the only option you have. And if you just want to build a platform, if you're just making the MVP and you just want to test with the one platform, either iOS or just Android, if you want to build for a one platform, just go for a native. There is no point of building multiple platforms. And what not to do, when the performance is not your criteria, you just testing your idea, you have something is going on in your mind and you just want to check with the people how the people will respond, then you can go for a hybrid platform, more or less replicate web apps. If you don't have such a good idea, you are just replicating some app and you want to try with some new features with the device, then for a testing purpose you can go for a hybrid app. And if you have a standard RESTful, then yes, you can go for a hybrid. Then widget based app, or if you have many platforms, then native is not your app. So the technology you're gonna use for Android is Android Studio, and which is Java based, and for iOS, Swift and Objective C. For hybrid mobile apps, if you really need a high performance apps, yes, hybrid these days, as I mentioned, technology is going very better day by day. Even like high performance apps work very well in the hybrid platforms. Use native features of phone. Some of the hybrid platforms do provide native features. For some of the native features of phone, you need to check with the feature what kind of a feature you are looking for. But yes, hybrid mobile apps also work for native features for the phone. Complex backend, if you really have a very such a complex backend and there are some big CRM is going on of some organizations, and you don't have much time or money to invest on building the platform for two different platforms, then yeah, hybrid is the right solution for you guys. And if you have many platforms like a window, iOS, Android, BlackBerry or any other, so you can easily choose a hybrid platform. It's also save cost if you have a low budget and you think like native is not be, you cannot afford making apps for native, then yeah, you can do it in a hybrid. And once you get successful, then if you have money you can do anything. So when not to do heavy on our OS and device features, so if you're collecting so much data in your phone, and then hybrid probably not your choice. um, Already have a large user base. If you really have a very large user base and you are already doing so much success in the market, then you should do only native apps. And complex nwcom and widget apps, or on if you have only one platform, then hybrid is not your platform for the technology. And the technology that we have in the hybrid is ionic, xamarin, PhoneGap, titanium, and many more. There's so many other frameworks are available for hybrid platforms. Understand your web technology. Choosing the right stack for your startup project. If you have chosen the right platform for your mobile app, but don't forget, web technology is the main bone of your product. So you need to understand and choose so wisely your web technology, what stack you are using for your server side. So usually so far we were, everyone in the market was using lamp technology, but now these days there is a new innovation coming, the mean. And choose the right stack for your startup project. I'm just trying to explain you what is the difference between both of these technologies, so you can understand both things, which is the right fit for your project, and where you can rely, right? Both technology have a pros and cons, so choose wisely and decide what is the right solution for your startup. So mean basically describes an application stack. It consists of a MongoDB, that is where we store the database, Express.js server-side application framework, and AngularJS client-side application framework, and Node.js server-side language environment, all through Express implies Node.js. So the mean is totally based on the JS. It is also work on the front side, it also work on the AngularJS, and on the server side Express.js works. And the language that we use in the mean is a Node.js. So it's all Java based languages, scripts, and the database is MongoDB. And a closer look at lamp. Lamp is essentially an acronym for a classic web server stack. So far from last 15 years, most of the people were using MySQL database, Apache web server, Linux OS, and they are using PHP, .NET, Perl, Python. These are the scripting languages. So far, whatever the application you have seen, they all are based in MySQL and built in PHP or some other languages. But now, as the technologies, every day there is a new technology is coming, so mean is also getting so popular. it's not like there is some n number of other technologies are also available in the market. But why I'm just mentioning mean and lamp is because lamp is very already popular in the market, but mean is also getting so much popular in the market, and so many new companies are using this stack. So you should choose the your stack for your project so wisely. Difference between lamp stack and mean stack. Here is the more detailed differentiate. I have a table over here. So the language that we are using in a mean is AngularJS extension of a JavaScript, and in the lamp we are using Perl, PHP, Python, commonly used programming languages. You must be heard of PHP, so you know what I'm talking about. So the performance, it achieves high performance by trading off cluster setup with the help of mean, high speed flexibility, and frequently data loss. And lamp sports horizontal scaling, which is not good for high read writes. So as we have so many new things coming up in the market, uh, PHP and the MySQL works so well, there is no doubt. But the point is, today everybody wants so high performance technology. They want their app or their website should perform so well, it should work so fast. If you just type hi in a chat, it should pop up to the other side of the user instantly. It should not even take a second. So if you're that much concerned about the performance, you should go for a mean. If you really want to rely on the technology which is so much stable so far, you can also go for a lamp. And the database, it's a no SQL database. It's post document oriented database system, JSON style documents, making integration of a data into certain application fast and easy. And lamp is a MySQL traditional database system. User development is a front end and back end development. JavaScript is the ruler. So everywhere even on the front end, on the back end, JavaScript is used in the mean. And in the lamp, front end development and multi-layer with different configure files and syntax is there, and scalability is high scalability is there. But lamp today's time, it's mentioned there is a low scalability, and read and write ratio grows because it is still on the same structure. Nobody knows in the coming years maybe they also come up with the new structure, or maybe new completely a new technology, and they might be also start performing so well. It is not even low scalability, but if we compare with the mean, yes, if a mean website or a app respond within 3 or 4 seconds, then lab apps or website perform in 6 to 7 seconds. So that is the difference. So you can see, like, even it's not that bad, but yes, if we have to compare, so yeah, this is the thing. And in the cost, cheaper as you required only JavaScript specialist, and on the lamp side, hire as required front end and back end. So in a mean, you can just hire a JavaScript specialist. He can also work on the front end and the back end side because it's all JavaScript. But on the lamp side, you have to hire another HTML developer for front end side, and the back end, whatever the technology you're using, either your Perl or PHP developer, whatever the technology you are using, you have to hire that guy. And the database guy is also a different. So this is the difference we have in the technologies. So here is the conclusion for both the technologies. LAMP might become outdated in the near future, but it is not the case yet, as it is still a reliable player which has established its efficiency over the years. However, the mean stack is surely an innovative, new and cutting edge technology package that will perhaps conquer the market shortly. Let's understand the admin panel. So here's one of the admin panel we have created for a one game market e-commerce project. So you just need to have an overview how you can actually manage an admin panel, and you can add different products categories and manage your orders within the app or a website from the admin panel. So you should have an idea how the admin panel look like and how you manage your app or website and other things from the admin panel. So this is the admin panel for you guys as an owner, or your admin team will gonna manage it. So let me click on the categories. So this is a game market e-commerce platform. So here is the name of their products: PS4, Xbox. Means if you want to change something, you can just click here and you can change it, whatever the name you want to give it, you can change it. You can, it's two things. It is actually a multilingual admin panel. So the first name whatever I'm entering here is English, and if it is in a different language, I am just entering into the Arabic as well, and upload the image. I can change the image anytime. So understand, if your website or app is in multilingual, so in your admin panel you can have this kind of option: enter the English language name and then Arabic. If you have three or other different languages, then you should have a different fields. So this is how the multilingual admin panel look like, and this is are the subcategories for the categories: games, console and all. Again, you can do the editing from the same. And there is the products. If you want to add different products into the admin panel, you can add it. Again, this is the products. If you want to change some details, here is a category. You can change the category of this particular product. You can name it, name in Arabic, write a description about it in an Arabic description, change the image, and the set the price. Is it in a stock or not? And this is the existing product. If you want to add a new product, you can click over here, select the category, select the subcategory, name it, Arabic description, and that's all. This is how you can add a new products. If you have a delivery boys in your business model, you can also add a delivery boys, and you can manage from here. If you want to have a geolocation, for example, your business is located in a city and you are just delivering the products in some certain areas, so you can add areas from here. Like it is in this product is for the Saudi Arabia. So we have just entered this is the area they need to be delivered. So this is the center point, and they are just delivering the order to this point. So you can change it anytime, like this, if you want to. So this is how you can set the area of delivery. So this is how it is will be easy. So why I'm under explaining you all the admin panel is, it has to be so easy to use. Your admin panel has to be easy to use, and you should have a complete controllers. Most of the developers don't give you this such easy to use options in your admin panel, and you don't know how to add the things. And so in an admin panel, make sure you don't have to do any coding. If you are adding a product, setting up the geolocation, or adding a categories, managing the order, you can just do it everything from the admin panel. So here is the orders. You can see all the orders that you will get from your customers, the phone number of your customer, price, and when the order has been arrived to you. You can also see the order details, what are the order is. You can see the address of the customer, their phone number, and what is the price, what are the delivery fees, what is the order ID, and it is approved or not, and all the related items. What is the product ID, you can also check that. What is the product details, yeah, this is the product and this is the price. So from here you can see all the orders and everything from here. You can mark the order status as well, like it is a pending or it's approved, assigned for a delivery, on its way, or delivered, right? If you want to assign this any order to any of your guy, you can just assign it from here and submit it. The order will be assigned to delivery boy. So this is all the things you can do it. So it's a contact request. You can see all this details, and if you have the different offers, you can watch it from here on the product. So this is an overview of your admin panel. This is how you manage. and every admin panel will vary on a different business model. So whatever your business model is and is your things are, uh, it can be customized and it will be easy to deploy according to your needs. So make sure whenever you are making this, you should have a complete control over the system in the admin panel. So once you have all the products ready with you with the admin panel, apps, website, now it comes to the step number 4, quality assurance, QA. Don't let the app bugs bite. Software testing is a process of validating and verifying that your app or a product meet the specific requirements, work as expected, can be installed with integrity, and satisfy the needs of stakeholders. So testing at a QA is a process where you can actually can check either it's ready to launch or not. So there must be you can hire a quality tester or a QA insurance person for this project, or if you are working with a agency or a company, they might be have a QA. If they don't have, ask them, they should hire a QA, or you can hire somebody else outside who can make sure your product or website, whatever they have built, is all tested and working accordingly. Because when it goes to the people hands, they might be gonna test, they might be gonna use it, and you don't know how, in which scenarios they're gonna use it. So your product has to be tested with all the different scenarios. Like if you are buying a car, that car has been passed through with so many different tested. They had like different scenarios set, and once that car met with all the scenarios and they know how the car is safe to drive on the roads, then they launch it, and then how you drive it. And that's why you are easily able to drive that. So again, apps or website also the same thing. You don't throw out your products into the market without a QA. Even if you don't hire, if you are not able to hire a QA, or a firm is not able to provide you QA, do it by yourself. At least do a basic functionality, learn about it, and you should have it. So this is a functional testing is there. You should test each and every function, all the function, either it's login, sign up, e-commerce checkout, or ordering, or uploading photographs, whatever it is, or payment gateway. You should check each and every function. Is it working well or not? Or either it's working in Android, it's working in iOS. Check all the devices and test it. Mobile apps testing, again, check all the apps with the different devices. GUI testing is see the all designs. Are the designs are visible to the end user? See all the screens. Are the all screens are visible? Is there any font issues were there, or is there any images not looking good? So make sure everything is perfect. Automation testing is like, is there any hacks over there? Try to check your securities. Might be some hackers or somebody can hack your app or a website, so make sure you have a security check. Performance testing, how your app is performing. Either you test it with the 2G connection, check with the Wi-Fi with the low bandwidth, check with the 3G connection, check with the 4G connection, how your app is performing on their different internet connection, because your product might be using in different countries, and they might be don't have a good internet connection. So you should have that thing, and check with the multiple users, maybe 100,000 of users. That is also again performance testing. And the security testing, again, your how secure is your product is. So make sure you should have a very good testing going through with the product. And then it's finally it's come to the launch. You have the whole your idea done, it's developed, now it's tested. Then you gonna launch it on a app store, on a Play Store for Android. Usually app store for iOS apps, it takes around 3 to 5 days for approval on the store, but Android apps usually get approved on the store within 4 hours. So make sure you should, if you are having a iOS, so you might have to wait for 3 to 5 days to get approved and go live. So at the time of launch, you should have this thing in your mind that this is gonna take some time. So and if you have a website, you can just easily deploy on a server, and it is ready to go, right? So you don't have to wait for the websites. After launching your product, you might be thinking this is it, but no. Most of the people do the same mistake. They build their product, they launch it, and after some months they find it, okay, we have built the product and it doesn't work out. But no, they are missing something that is very essential in the startup, that is the marketing. Once you launch the product, you have to do the marketing, you have to get the customers. If people doesn't know about your product, you will not get it. So you have to focus on digital marketing. After launching the product, don't stop there, start working on the marketing part. Let me give you the introduction for the marketing. Overview of app marketing, why we need to do app marketing, what strategy prefer to do. Overview of app marketing. It's not enough to create a website or a mobile app. Marketing equally means to have a product. If you don't have an idea about marketing, then how the people will use your app? So if you really have a really good product, it's actually you are solving some problem, but if people don't know about that there is some solution of their problem exists in the marketing, how they're gonna use it? So you have to reach out that solution to the people. Yes, they're gonna use it, but then they cannot find you. You exist in the market. If they are not able to find you in the market, so until unless they know like there is a such kind of a solution available in the market, they're not gonna look at it, right? There, even in this real world, there are so many problems out there, and we don't have solutions for those problems. So maybe in the future, if somebody have the solution, when we comes to know about something, yes, this is the solution for this particular problem, we're gonna adopt it. So until we don't have, nobody's bothered. So that is the reason you have to do the marketing. Let's take an example. Career Builder mobile app. What it is? An iPhone app that let users search for jobs on the go. Have a sweet commute you just don't want to give up. Use the device at the location of your current job. It will tap GPS technology to find out where you are and let you search for jobs in the neighborhood. So wherever your current job is, it helps you to find jobs nearby. So technically you don't have to change your location, you don't have to change your home, and it will just help you get the jobs of your particular field within just nearby. So this is the problem, and this is what they are helping out. How it's working. A few thousand people have downloaded it and conducted a collective 500,000 job search on the app. It's about understanding the needs of your client. They started mobile app marketing campaign to increase job searches. App marketing strategy. Select a huge keyword to target your app over search engine website. To increase your app users, select highest search keyword related to your niche market. This will increase app impression from search engine website. Promoting your app over press release website. To promote your app, press release website play important role in gaining targeted user to your app. Submitting your app on App Store directory. To gain more downloaded, App Store directly play important role. Need to get submit on right category to gain ranking over App Store. Submit review for app. There are a lot of website at where app is submitted for review. Some are paid and some are free. Submit on high domain authority website. It play important role in gaining more download to your app. Presence over social media website. This is the most important thing. Creating social network account for your app is the best way to have a presence over internet world. Most of downloads are generated through social media sites, and you will get so much traffic on your website from the social media. Have your Facebook fan page, Google Plus, Twitter, YouTube videos. You should have as much as social media accounts for your startup, and promote at least post 3 to 4 posts every day on your social media, and you will see the most of the traffic you're getting from the social media. Once you have some users, you need to measure your performance, how the people are reacting to your product, what feature they are liking. So you need to see what people likes, what people don't like, so work accordingly. Measure the user interaction with the analytics. You should have an analytic integrate with your app or a website so that you can monitor from where you're getting the traffic. Check who is your user, how they are coming to your platform, what they are doing on your platform, and what value you are giving to them. How analytic works: dimension versus metrics. You need to see from where your user are coming, either from United States or from Europe or maybe some other part. If your business is basically is from a local market, right? If your traffic is coming from completely a different country, you need to see your strategy, what wrong you're doing in your marketing. You need to just only focus on your local area if your business is local. If your business is international, for the international users, then go ahead. Traffic source: you need to see where is the most of the people are coming on your app or on your website. You need to check either they are coming from social media, or they are coming from some website, or maybe they are coming from Google. So from whatever the source they are coming from, you need to see and work accordingly. See the page title, what are the page title they are coming on, either it's on a mobile app or a page. See what they are liking the most, or and where is the most of the bouncing, what users are not liking. See visitors and the users matrix, how many are page visits, how many pages they are viewing, and conversion rate, how many actually start doing business with you. Check overview mobile app analytics. This is a dashboard from Google Analytics. So you can see from where the user is coming. Either they are coming from United States or some other part of the country, and see how many are the new users, how many are the active users, and see which device they are using for your app. Either it's a Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, or iPhone or Android. So see on which platform or which device they are using the most for using your app or a website. Acquisition: how are user finding your app? Check from where the people are coming, either it's from China, Russia, United States, and check which operating system they are using. If your app is based on Android and most of the user are coming from Android device only, and there is not much traffic from iOS, then you should focus more on Android platform. AdWord reporting: so even if you are doing a paid marketing on Google, you need to see where most of your money is going, which keywords are more focused, and where is your where you are wasting your money, on which bad keywords you are wasting your money. How is the app being used? You need to check, are your users are doing what you expect? What are they spending their time? Where are they stuck? What's blocking them? What do they want more of? You need to check what pages they are viewing and where is there is a bouncing coming. So if you have insight of your app, you will get more detail. This is another view. You can see how much time they are spending with the overview page, profile page, company profile category, And the last and the most important step is think like a winner. I have a question for you guys. Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and Musk, what do you think? What all they have in common? Yes, they all are doing really extremely good in their lives, whatever they did and they are doing. But they they were having a best team they are working with. They have the best people around them they are working with. It doesn't matter, do you know coding, do you know the management, or you are really a good salesperson. If you have really the best people around you, or you're working with the best people, the chances of getting successful is so higher. If you want to climb a Mount Everest, would you just fly over to Nepal with no training and start climbing without Sherpa? Maybe A, you might be returned back home, or you might be died. Yes, that's truth. If you don't have a Sherpa team with you, you cannot climb Mount Everest. So why would you try to take your business to the next level all by yourself? Nobody can do that in their life. They have the best people around them. And that's why most of the 80 to 90% business are getting failed these days, because they don't find the right people around them. So choose wisely whoever you are working with. Either he's your co-founder, or they are your development team, or an app developer, web developer, designer, or a company, or a firm, agency. Choose so wisely how good they are. Are they knowledgeable? They know how to do the startup, they know how to build a product. And try to learn from experts. Don't get failed. Don't do the same mistake what others are doing. The reality is, I can't cover everything that you need in a 1 hour webinar, even if we had all day. You may even feel overwhelmed by what I have covered, and have only scratched the surface. Would you like to keep this experience going? I can make you a special offer to get everything you need to know. And if you can act fast, I'm going to make you a special proposition. And those guys who wants to continue this experience, say hi in the chat box, so I can explain you even more detail how you can get the best experience for your startup. All right, few of the yeses are coming. Let's go ahead. So you have option 1. Go it alone and spend tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of hours and dollars figuring this stuff out, getting frustrated and wasting 3 to 10 years of your life. 70 to 80% of companies and startups get failed just because they are still figuring out what is the right way of building a startup, how they can build the more right product, how they are building the right website. And after spending thousands of hours and dollars, they're figuring out somebody else is taking the lead, because they found the right people, they found the right developers, and built a very successful product, and someone is successful and you're still there. So don't do that same mistake again and again. Here I am to help you out how to build a great product. I have a 10 years of experience building great products for different big companies, different startups. I personally gone through with the whole startup journey. I know how much it takes to build a company, how much it takes to build a really good product, how to scale a product. It's not just about building a product. I can also help you building and scale your product. I can help you with raising funds from the different investors. Or you have second option, work with the expert who has not just helped others but master it and is pretty damn good at it. I have a team of 70 plus experts in my company, And we have the designers, we have the architects, we have the mobile developer, Android developers, iOS app developer, database designers, web developers, admin developers, team leaders, project managers, the whole complete software life cycle we do follow in our company. So if you really want a good product, we can easily help you out, and we have already helped others to build a best product for their companies. So if you really want me to help you out building your good products, let's talk. Here is how it works. Book a time for us to talk. We talk within 48 hours of today. We talk for 20 to 30 minutes. We figure out your model. We create a game plan. Here is what you need to do next. Click the get started button right now. Schedule your call with me and let's figure out how to develop your idea. There are three types of people: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, those that are wondering what just happened. So now you decide what kind of a person you are. Are you the guy who make things happen, or just watch things other are making a really good products in the world? Thank you so much for your time. This is Rajan Khokar. I look forward to talking with you.